For most people, access to shopping centres, friends' houses, or transport is easy and not something they need to think about. However, for 21-year-old Sarah, life is a little different. Sarah is in a wheelchair and struggles to gain the same access to places as her friends and family and is subjected to negative attitudes within society. Our inclusion reporter, Yona Smith, was able to sit down and chat to Sarah about the difficulties she faces within our society.
Primary school, high school, university, I'm very independent, but my family had to fight tooth and nail just to get me into my primary school, to get me into my high school. And I got a bit more of a look at that firsthand when I went into university, and especially getting into my pracs. Getting into my pracs, it can be really difficult for teachers to actually take on a pre-service teacher who is also in a wheelchair. I'm also unable to access quite a few places around where I live. Houses are a big one. If I ever want to go to a mate's place, I don't. I have also not been allowed to drive. I am relying on public transport, buses, taxis, which are rather unreliable at the best of times. Society and people in general don't like anything that's out of the ordinary. From the moment of my birth, I was out of the ordinary. I went through, mum said it was a fairly simple pregnancy, nothing out of the ordinary, but the second that I was born, they realised something was very wrong. And mum said the entire atmosphere in that room just changed. I have faced a range of attitudes from society, from people just accepting it, being like, oh, okay, that's cool, whatever. And a lot of those attitudes are from children. They are just accepting, they are growing up in a society that is more diverse and that is more inclusive. Adults, on the other hand, are sort of stuck in the past. I've found they are set in their ways, and I think one experience that stands out is when I was verbally abused on a bus for asking an able-bodied man to vacate the seats that are designated for people who are in wheelchairs, and verbally abused me to the extent where he was escorted off the bus, purely because he just didn't understand why I needed him to leave those seats. It devalues me. It brings me back down to my disability, and I've not spent the last 21 years trying to prove that I'm more than my disability for someone to say that my disability is the only interesting thing about me. I suppose one of the biggest stereotypes that people with disabilities, particularly those in wheelchairs, face is that people naturally assume that a physical disability goes hand in hand with an intellectual disability. They assume that because I'm in a wheelchair, I can't fend for myself, I can't speak for myself, I can't make decisions for myself. They assume that I am less than because I am in a wheelchair. I'm fine as a pre-service teacher to inspire children. I think that's a wonderful thing, and I think that's what all teachers strive to be. But if I'm inspirational purely for the fact that I'm getting out of bed, that I can remember my own name, that I can attend a university, that I can go on prac, that I can teach children in my condition, I think it's pathetic, frankly. It devalues me, like I said before, and it just brings me back to my disability as my defining characteristic, when there is much more to me than just my disability. My wheelchair are my legs. I'm different to other people, yeah, but who the hell isn't?